Of course, so we're monitoring this particular breaking news story on all vantage points. Let's take you back to our Tambo International Airport. Those are live visuals on your screen there. That, of course, is where Khayelihle Khumalo is on standby. Khayelihle, if you can hear me, just give us up to speed in terms of the visuals that we are currently seeing. Are these the 4 men who have just arrived back home?
Well, certainly, Unati, this is the time that everybody really has been waiting for. So finally, they're back here at home. And obviously, it's a very sensitive story. Their faces won't be shown, respecting their identities. But it's been a very agonizing journey for them. And finally, they're back here on the home soil. And as you can see, the visuals here really pointing very vividly. They are accompanied by SABC officials. So we do understand now, as we're stepping out and leaving this precinct, we're going to now the Tambo police station. That's where they'll be processed, then they'll be whisked away. But I mean, this is quite a very big moment, especially for their families, really, Unati, who have been yearning for this moment. Especially when you look at the context of Donbass and Ukraine. It's a very volatile point. This is a conflict also that has really changed the geopolitics. And when you look at the context of how the Russian Federation, the links with the African continent, but also the recruitment drive where quite a number of nationalities have been really just roped into this particular conflict. So right now, Nati, we're right here at the South African Police Service or Tambo International Airport. And I think for now, this is where our journey is going to end, as obviously there's privacy that is needed by the South African Police Service in terms of making sure that they process them. You asked a very pertinent question, Unati, about the presence of any health authorities or psychologists or anyone for psychosocial support. But, you know, at this point in time, there is no such service that is being rendered. So they have been taken to right into the police station. You do understand that, well, they'll be processed, where also the police are working alongside with the Hawks in this particular instance. So it's been quite a very long journey, Unati. As you know that you've had South African authorities working with their counterparts in Russia, and it doesn't end here because it's only 4 people. So the number that has been bandied about is about 17 South Africans. So those who are still remaining behind, the families still have a litany of questions that they are asking. So the South African Police Service making sure that everything is seamless here, is ran as smoothly as possible. And obviously, where we're positioned in Unati, there is no SABC members who's designated to speak to us. But we do understand from now they'll be taken away in terms of the way forward, whether are they going to appear in court tomorrow or any other day that will be prescribed. That is yet to be seen in terms of really the confirmation. But for now, they're back home. So you can really see the sigh of relief from their faces, Unati, especially, I mean, well, from what we understand, that they left the country under the pretext of really receiving the training as bodyguards, and also really all sorts of allegations that have been made, Unati. We saw also those 5 South Africans who were arrested right here in Tambo. They were seen as very key recruiters who were behind this particular campaign. So we're going to be stationed here because we do understand that also the spokesperson who's going to speak on behalf of these families is right on his way here. We're hoping to get a word from him in terms of the way forward, but also just in terms of those who are still behind, in terms of their health conditions and many other litany of questions that are still swelling around in this particular case.
All right, Kaya, let's leave it there for now as you, of course, get more clarity and, you know, confirmation. Khayelihle asking that pertinent question, of course, on the arrival of the 4 men, if authorities are now going to be clarifying whether these 4 men are considered victims of trafficking or potential contraveners of that regulation that he spoke to earlier, the Foreign Military Assistance Act. And of course, we know that that act is very clear. It bars South African citizens from rendering any foreign military assistance without the permission of course, of a number of regulators.